affording this opportunity to speak on the development and the promotion of sports in India. Madam Chairperson, this is the right time by which we are discussing about the sports in India, especially in the light of world football in Qatar. We have seen that countries which are having less than 40 lakhs of people are participating in the World Cup football and they are in the quarterfinals even. But it is quite unfortunate to note that a country having more than 130 crores of population is not able to even qualify in the international ranking or international sports scenario or the games scenario. Means it is the pathetic situation of the sports scenario of our country. Why it is so? Sir, we are celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, 75 years of independent, post-independent India. We are able to progress in almost all the fields in health, education, economy, and even infrastructure. In almost all fields, we are having the standard of international standard. But it is quite unfortunate and desperate to note that even after 75 years of independence, we are not even able to have the international standard in sports except in the case of cricket. And even, you know that 21 years throughout continuously or 19 or 21 years, we were the world champions in hockey also. But we're now in the hockey also in international position. What is the position of India in respect of hockey, the game which was one of the prestigious game of India, except cricket? So why it is so? The government has to have an introspection about this point. According to me, if the government is having a political will, definitely this can happen. That has proved in Qatar now by the Qatar administration. And several countries, small countries, yes, they are having the money, they are having the funds, but we can also do it if we are having a political will, a deliberate and sincere attempt on the part of the government. Especially I would like to demand or urge upon the Honorable Prime Minister should take the initiative to have a deliberate attempt so as to build up the sports personnel in our country and to have an international standard for which money has to be spent. Honorable Ministers, our learned friend Anurag Singh Thakurji is there. See, the last 5 years, his reply in Rajya Sabha, his last 5 years total money which we have spent for the sports, development of sports is worth just 11,482.77 crores of rupees. We are a 3.5 trillion economy. What is the money being spent for the sports? It is negligible, nothing, it is nothing. So that is the reason by which we are not able to go up to the international standard. No government after independence, if you take any government, none of the government is not sincere, not dedicated for the promotion of the sports because it is not taking any influence in the electorate. It is not giving any positive political point in the electoral politics. That is the reason by which we are not able to come forward. So my first point is the government of India should come with, at least in the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, when we are celebrating it, the government, especially the Honorable Prime Minister, should come out with a clear program so as to develop the sports in our country. It should be a deliberate attempt on the part of the government. That is the first suggestion which I would like to make. Madam, see, when we are talking about the funding of the sports infrastructure or the sports development of the sports, if we are having a better sports scenario in our country, suppose the school children, from the grassroots level, if we are training them, definitely we can minimize the medical expenditure also. We are spending huge amount of money for the medical care and treatment. So if we can build up the sports culture in our country, definitely we will be building a healthy nation, thereby minimize the expenditure in the medical field. Sir, Madam, what are the issues in the sports area? Because the number one is identification of the talented sports person from the rural area as well as the urban area. Madam, I would like to cite one example of P.T. Usha. Now, she is the Indian Olympic Association president and member of the Rajya Sabha. I do appreciate the government for nominating her in Rajya Sabha. See, she has practiced in the coastal area. One coach, Mr. M.O. Nambiar, he has found out her character, her efficiency and sporting spirit. And that is the only reason by which she could come at the international level and can be a winner in the Asian Games also. So identification of the talented sports person for which grassroots level this scrutiny has to be done, school level it has to be done, that should be on the basis of a specific scheme. And modern infrastructure I need not explain, because lack of the proper modern infrastructure is one of the reasons by which we are not able to have the international standard of sports. And you, Madam, one point which I would like to draw the attention of the Honourable Minister. 1982, the 11th Asiad we had, and Commonwealth Games, subsequently Commonwealth Games, and the last National Games, it was held in my state in Kerala. You see the infrastructure we have built by spending crores of rupees. What is the state of affairs of those in the sports infrastructure? We are not maintaining those sports infrastructure for the games which we have already built up. So that is to be looked into. That is another point. And international coaching, expertise, coach have to be brought here and proper coaching should be given. Even all these things are done, it is not able to. The financial security and the safety of the sports person has to be kept intact. Otherwise, it is very difficult. And another point which I would like to make is undue and unwarranted political influence and interference in the sports scenario. And last, Madam, regarding the corporate social responsibility. So I'm only making the points, I'm not explaining anything. Madam, corporate social responsibility, there is a specific provision. 2% of the fund has to be given CSR. But there is a National Sports Development Fund is there. Why the corporates are not contributing for the development of the promotion of the sports? If you examine the statistics, I am having the statistics. If you examine it, Madam, this NSDF contribution from the corporate social responsibility is very less. I support the this is Kelo India project and targeted Olympic podium scheme. And also, when we support, I would like to see clarification from the Honourable Minister. What about the tops now? Madam, I am concluding. What about the tops? Targeted Olympic
क्या-क्या खेल खेले वो तो बोले भी नहीं कि
targeted Olympic podium stadium scheme, Madam. What is the result and what is the impact, and what also Kelo India ka impact? What is the result? I would like to know from the Honourable Minister. And with this words, sir, Madam, with these words, and thank you very much for giving me this much of time. Once again, I urge upon the government, come with a political will to have a better sports scenario in our country.
Madam.